the time has come for voter ID like everything else. You know, if you go out and you want to buy groceries, you need a picture on a card. You need ID.
What? That's not how groceries work. Yeah, I'd like to buy this beefaroni. No, it's cool. I'm old enough. Trump says that the time has come for voter ID, and in a sense, he's actually right. Election day is coming up, and 17 states have voter ID laws. And he says they're necessary because of this epidemic of people voting illegally. How many people? A lot.
They always like to say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Not a conspiracy theory, folks. Millions and millions of people.
Wonder where I got that number. Unrelated question. How much did you lose a popular vote by?
Millions and millions of people.
Got it. So this number's cheesy and transparent, and we all know where it came from. But other politicians make similar claims of in-person voter fraud, and every time those claims are debunked. Florida's perfectly aerodynamic governor said that 182,000 illegal aliens were trying to vote. Well, the courts investigated and they found one. Missed it by that much. Nice try. And of course that number was off. If you're undocumented, you're probably gonna wanna lay low and not flock by the thousands to a federal government installation. In other states, North Carolina, not a single charge in a decade. Indiana, literally never in its history. And the kicker, from 2000 to 2014, they studied 1 billion votes and they found 31 cases of voter fraud in 1 billion. People say like, that's like 1 in a million, like it's this rare occurrence. This is 1 in 32 million, which is the same chance as you have of, and this is the truth, being elected president and getting eaten by a mountain lion. It's the funnest fact that I know now. Pretty happy I know that. This kind of voter fraud just does not happen. Now I understand there might be people who hear voter ID law and say, what's the big deal? Just get an ID. Everyone has an ID. And that's what I thought at first. But no, if you're a citizen, the default setting is you have the right to vote. And if you think about it, all these new laws are just weird. It's like you were voting the same way your whole life and suddenly someone just shows up and says, I'm sorry, the law's changed now because of a threat we have no evidence for. Now you're gonna have to go to the DMV or the federal building. Doesn't that sound nice? Federal building, ugh. On second thought, just kill me. Also, it's expensive. Documents required to obtain them cost up to $175. And it's not like other states without photo ID laws just let you show up and vote a bunch of times. You need to say the right address or match some personal information they have on file. But come on, we're smarter than that. We know why these laws exist. To make it harder for certain people to vote, like young people. In Texas, they accept state-issued concealed carry permits as voter ID, but they don't accept state-issued student IDs. They're going after college kids. Other groups least likely to have these IDs are poor people, black people, Latinos, and the elderly. The elderly, sweet old ladies. They're sending Nana to the DMV. How's she gonna get there? She can't drive. You're gonna have to explain Uber to her. She's gonna think she's getting abducted. In all, nationwide, one study says that these laws disenfranchise 21 million people. 21 million! But by even the most conservative estimates, and by conservative, I mean the super conservative Heritage Foundation's own numbers, in 1 year, the number of people who suddenly can't vote is thousands and thousands of times higher than the 31 cases of voter fraud found by courts in almost a decade and a half. And the politicians can't even hide how happy they are about their evil plan. One Wisconsin aide said, GOP senators were giddy that the law would keep Democrats, particularly minorities in Milwaukee, from voting and help them win at the polls. They were politically frothing at the mouth, he said. So when you look at all this, voter fraud, it just isn't a thing. Voter ID laws, now that's the fraud. Send this video to people you know who think that voter fraud's no big deal, and get exclusive content from TYT by becoming a member at tyt.com/join. Be happy to have you. I'll make you some beefaroni, because I'm, alive.
On the go? Don't worry, we got you covered. You can still listen to TYT at our new podcast network. Find us on Apple Podcasts, the Google Play Store, or at tyt.com/podcast.